The following program has been rated GE by the Kenya Film Classification Board. It is therefore suitable for general family viewing.
Hello viewer, welcome to GBS TV. This is a station that brings you very important information. At Chungu cha jamii, we invite various guests from different walks of life, teaching us different things that we need to know in our lives as we live every single day. And today I have a gyna with me. We're going to be talking about cervical cancer. For women especially, and even for men, I know this is such an area of interest and you don't want to miss. My name is Betty Akuku. Welcome to the show. Welcome my guest. Please introduce yourself.
Thank you so much for having me. My name is Dr. Victor Wanjohi. I'm a gynecologist working at the Mater Misericordia Hospital. It's a level 6 mission referral, teaching and referral hospital, which is located conveniently in South B, and we offer all services all under one roof. We also have satellite centers all over Nairobi, even near here at TRM. We also have a satellite center.
Wow.
Yes.
Welcome, Dr. Wanjohi.
Thank you for having me.
Good to have you again.
Yes, thank you so much.
Last time you were here, we actually enjoyed the show. Definitely. We had so much fun.
It was so much fun.
I know.
I had to come again.
Wow. Thank you for honoring our invitation once again.
Thank you.
We got lots of feedback and
Yes.
questions from our viewers.
Yes.
And that's why today we now wanted to narrow it to cervical cancer. So last
Yes.
time we were talking about just cancer generally. If you don't mind, please give us a preview of what we talked about last time.
So last time, we mentioned certain facts about cancer. That one thing, it's someone's own body which has changed to become cancerous or become cancerous because of certain risk factors which the person may either have from birth or they might come from the environment. Of note, we mentioned some of the risk factors such as infections, such as hepatitis infection, HIV infection. We mentioned chronic diseases such as diabetes. They all predispose the body to developing cancer. So, and we mentioned how to prevent these. When you prevent these risk factors, then you kind of protect yourself
From catching the disease.
Yes. Having a strong immune system is also a very key plus, and also watching what we eat. We mentioned, by the way, that microwave is not bad. So people not to throw their microwave. The microwave itself is bad, but the food which has been cooked from the microwave is good. So people not to throw the microwave. Yes.
Wow. Thank you for that recap.
Thank
So
you.
today we narrowed down to cervical cancer.
Thank
As a
you.
gynecologist, tell us what this is.
Now, cervical cancer is a growth which is located on the cervix. The cervix is the door of the womb.
Okay.
So there's a growth which has the potential to spread. That is what calls it a cancer.
So that means you can actually feel it. When you touch yourself at the cervix, you can feel the growth.
No, it is not possible
Okay.
for somebody to appreciate, because you see, most of the time you might have a different perception. So it's always good, we always say maumivu yakizidi muone daktari. So all the time we would like people to have a high health seeking behavior. They go to hospital early. When they feel I'm not myself, they go to hospital. Remember that cancer begins as a microscopic thing, something which is not even visible to the naked eye. It needs a microscope. So we want
But
to,
is it something you can feel?
if it is big,
Only when it is big.
yes.
You
So
know,
we
this is
don't
the
want to wait
controversy
for it
because-
to become maybe the size of maybe this hand. Then that one, everyone will feel it.
Yes.
But if we want to diagnose and treat when it is microscopic, when you cannot even see it,
Only through a microscope.
only through a microscope. Now that is the value which we want to create for our patients.
You know,
Otherwise, if
when
we
I feel
wait-
nothing, Dr. Wanjohi, I will not take myself to the doctor. And people will blame me for going to the doctor late. When in reality, I felt nothing, you know. So what should get me from my comfort zone to just go and check? Is it when there are places where they're advertising, oh, we are doing free cancer screening, so should I just go for the sake of it? Or what should really get me off from my seat to go and check?
So actually, you said the main highlight of this presentation of mine, that people should go and get screened. They should be proactive. They should not wait until they are suffering. Otherwise, they'll become cancer sufferers. Nowadays, we want cancer warriors, people who are able to fight the cancer, not people who have been fought by the cancer until now they're suffering. So you said it very nicely. People to go get screened. Before even they wait
From
for
nowhere.
the symptoms, they just present at the hospital. We won't ask them, we won't laugh at them for coming early. In fact, we will appreciate them for their good effort for being keen about their health.
You see, now though, that is for the people who are so much exposed, you know. When you are exposed in a place where people talk about cancer and they have heard, oh, there is free screening here and there. How about the woman in the village who has no idea what cancer is, and all they're waiting for is a certain symptom?
Now, what I can say, prevention is better than cure.
I know.
So let them not wait. But even us, because we are the champions.
Yes.
Chungu cha jamii now is a champion, is also a cancer warrior.
Creating awareness.
So it is creating awareness. Let those people who are watching maybe this show, when they go to Shago for Christmas, they do not say that we're just here to eat chapati and kuku, and then January 1 we are back in Nairobi. Let us offer these services to our relatives and even our friends. We tell them, ingeni kwa gari, we have to go now to the nearby hospital. You people must get screened. And the two cancers for ladies which you are most keen about is cancer of the breast and cancer of the cervix. Why? Because they are very accessible to the healthcare worker. The tests are easy to perform.
Very easy.
Very easy.
I don't need a level 6 like matter to do the screening.
No. All you
because
need,
that could be another challenge.
Yes.
Back in the village, for me to access a district hospital where probably the facilities are, it may be so costly, and sometimes I also think the test requires money. So when I do the math, I would rather eat, because I'm not feeling sick, you know. I'm not feeling sick. Whatever beef I have with cervical cancer is that you have no symptoms.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
So it's very difficult for me to forsake buying a pair of shoes, to forsake doing my hair, or buying food that I'm going for screening. How expensive is this?
So at many or most government facilities, it is absolutely free.
Wow.
So maybe the only cost which the person will incur is the transportation to the facility and back home.
Okay.
Now, this is something which is very easy to perform, both breast cancer and cervical cancer. In actual essence, it can even be provided in a dispensary.
Oh, so I don't need a gynecologist like Dr. Wanjohi to perform this?
You do not need a gynecologist. Okay. All you need is a nurse or a clinical officer or even a lab technologist who is trained in diagnosing cervical cancer.
Okay.
So they are able to take the sample and run through some tests and eventually come up with the diagnosis whether someone is has cancer, or is about to have cancer, or is free from cancer.
So they even tell you whether you are about to have cancer.
Yes.
So when you are told you're about to, I know you're going to talk about that in the preventive measures, but first tell us, while I am just whole and feeling nothing, I could be doing something that is probably leading me to the cancer. The risk factors that I expose myself to, what are they?
So, maybe I can start answering your question from another way. So
the reason I'm asking you this, Dr. is because, you know, when I have been sleeping around, or rather engaging sexually with a man or a woman, chances are that one of them may have been HIV positive. And so when people are advertising, you need to go to VCT and have your status checked, you know, I have some conscience that, because I have been engaging with so and so and so and so, I really don't know their status. So let me check mine to confirm, you know. So at that point, I am not perfectly fine, you know. I am actually suspecting myself. So what are these things that I'm also going to do that may make me suspect myself to have caught cancer, the risk factors?
So let's first look at the cause, okay?
Yes.
So there's something which we mentioned in the last show, that there's something called human papilloma virus.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, viruses, to our viewers, are living things, but they need a host to live inside, a host cell. So they cannot survive on their own. On their own is just maybe some biologic material, inert. But once it enters a living cell, it is able to take over the machinery to do its work, to produce more of the virus. Okay. Now, this is the virus which is associated with 99.9% of cervical cancer. So the virus has to get on the cervix. Okay. It won't, it's not, how it will come is through the having relations or having sex. Through that unprotected sex, someone can get HPV. The man can also get HPV, by the way. But because the man has no cervix, the man is carrying the virus and is going to pass it on to another person.
So the man carries the HPV virus, having gotten it from a woman.
A woman.
Who is suffering already from cervical cancer.
Either she's suffering or she's on the way.
Yes. She has a host. She
has the infection
for that virus in her body.
Yes.
So if she has intercourse with this lady, then the man carries the virus in his system.
Yes, in their
system. But
system.
because he does not have a cervix, so he cannot catch cervical cancer.
Never.
But he's able to transfer it.
But then he's going to go and transfer.
Oh my goodness. So that is how the other woman is going to get it.
Yes. So in other talks which we've given, we've said we know maybe a lot about the world situation. So we say the man is like a terrorist. He goes and takes something bad and goes and throws it on somebody else.
Yes.
And then the woman is like a suicide bomber. She's going to carry the virus and then she will explode
anytime
with cervical cancer. So it is very unfortunate that this virus exists in the world because it is the one which is associated with cancer. Now, anything which is associated with the virus being spread, therefore, will increase cervical cancer. So, for example, this man has many friends, yes. So he's having many friends and he's going to spread the virus to all of them. If say he has a wife at home, then he's also going to have the friends. He's going to bring the virus to the wife. Now,
it is really a terrorist affair.
It is a terrorist affair. Now, the lady.
I would like to know what level, how much cervical cancer has spread in our country, because our moral issues are also really questionable.
Now, the good thing is, again, I really like this follow-up conversation because the last presentation which we gave, we said having a strong immune system is able to fight the cancer.
Yes. Once the virus enters, it attacks.
Yes.
Exactly.
So if somebody has a strong immune system, like eating right, avoiding things like too much junk food, avoiding things like obesity, being the right weight, exercising,
yes,
taking enough water like we're having today, thank you, then we prevent the cancer. Even if the virus has been spread, it's not everyone who must get the cancer.
Oh, not everyone.
Yes.
If your immune system is found
Is
down,
low,
then you
the cancer
definitely
will go up. So think of
HPV
what else.
enters with thankfulness. Thank you
Yes.
for creating space.
Thank you for giving me a chance to attack.
Yes.
Yes.
But now if my immune system is found up there,
Yes.
then I am safe.
You're
I am
going
able
to
to fight it.
Yes, even if the virus it comes into the body, then someone is able to fight it.
Wow.
And it
That's
goes
very
away.
good news.
Yes.
So in that case then, what to do encourage the woman? Because you just never know when the virus gets into you in this case.
So you said very well that in Kenya, we're not too sure about our moral practices. So someone should make sure that they assess themselves. Okay. So especially for a lady, not to engage in sex early. Unprotected sex early.
And early is up to what age?
Early, in my opinion as a gynecologist, is sex is more likely to be used for maybe in a family situation,
Yes.
maybe to get children,
Yes.
or as an act of family commitment to each other.
Yes.
So someone should not engage. Maybe they are 16. We used to say in the high school and the university, true love waits.
Yes.
Let them wait with their boyfriend. Let them be ready. They go through the sessions, for example, through a church minister, for example, at
Premarital
GBS,
counseling.
premarital counseling. They don't be in a hurry.
Uh-huh.
When they get to that family situation, then they're in a better place. It's not about age or maybe which role. It's more about the preparation.
The preparation.
Yes.
How does, when you engage early into it, does it accelerate the chances of you catching it?
Yes, so cervical cancer attacks most women in their prime. So we'll say ladies between 35 and 45 years are the ones who are going to be attacked so much with cervical cancer. So what will happen, there is a latency period. So when somebody gets the virus, there is a latency period of about maybe 7 to 15 years before the cancer develops.
Okay.
So that time the virus is in the body.
Up to 7 years.
Yes, it's trying to change the
Find-
system to cause the cancer.
So that is a very long time.
That is a very long time.
If you get the virus today,
Yes.
it can live in your body up to 7 years
Or even 15 years
before it makes
changes
itself.
to cancer.
So all this time, what is it doing?
So all of this
The
time,
virus.
it's changing the cells. It's trying to modify the cells to make them to be abnormal. Remember, it's also fighting for itself. It wants to have a chance to continue producing
So
more
when
and
your
more and more.
body is
Yes.
stronger,
Yes,
when your immunity is strong,
you fight
then
it.
you can manage.
Yes, you can fight it off completely. That is what we want. So one of the ways we said having a strong immunity. Now, recently the government has launched the HPV vaccine.
Yes.
So it's a good thing. People say it's not good, they're a bit skeptical, but if you read on the literature and even online, you'll find other countries such as Australia, they've taken this vaccine early. I don't know whether it's the same as the one which is in Kenya, but they've taken a similar vaccine and they've started immunizing from almost maybe 7 to 10 years ago. And now they're having the real response where their cancer cases are going down so much. Okay.
What is the guarantee that if you have the vaccine, then the virus cannot multiply in your body?
What we say is when we vaccinate,
Yes.
we not only prevent that person, there's also something called herd immunity. For example, in Kenya, we have many polio campaigns. So not everybody is going to be given that polio vaccine that day.
Yes.
But what will happen is, because there are so many people surrounding that person, the one person has not been vaccinated.
Yes.
The person is surrounded by many people who are vaccinated. So even if the polio tries to come in, it will find everybody is fighting the polio off.
Yes.
And that person will never be reached. Same with HPV. We want to create a herd immunity. We have so many people who are vaccinated at any given time. This vaccine is spread sexually. So if somebody tries to spread it to another person, then they cannot. And that person cannot spread it to another person.
Yes.
They cannot. And that person cannot spread it to. So we are bringing the cancer down through vaccination. Okay.
But you're doing it from 10 years.
Yes.
Which is my greatest issue.
Yes.
You know, the 10-year-old should not, they could be, but should not engage sexually. You know, they're not ready for whatever.
Yes.
But vaccinating them raises very big questions.
Yes. So what happens is, there's the facts and what we like to believe. Okay. So the studies which have been done in Kenya, they've shown young girls are engaging
sexually.
Yes, from 9 years.
True
So,
that.
Which is very unfortunate,
Yes.
but it is true. It is what is on the ground. If somebody wants to defer, it's okay. You
But
can
that is the
defer
truth.
until somebody is 18. But make sure, sit that girl down, make sure you have the conversation with her. Because most of us, as parents, we like burying our heads under the sand. When a topic about sex is brought up, we do not want to discuss it with our young girls. We'll say, iyo utenda ufunzwe na pastor. That one, go be taught in the school, in your home science books, or in your science lesson. They'll teach you what to do.
Or your social studies.
Yes. Whereas most of the young people, they go on the internet. Yes, and they are told it's okay to do this
Yeah, Dr.
thing.
Google has all answers and they always agree with us.
And they always
for whatever
agree.
question they have.
If you pose a question, how do I take drugs? They'll
Yes.
tell you drugs are good. Go and take drugs.
True.
So now we want to immunize this girl before she's even gotten that exposure.
Okay, Dr. Anjoy, thinking about the 7 years that the virus has to live in my body, or even 15, before it materializes or matures to be a cancerous cell, how then do I diagnose and know that for real I have cancer? So I have the virus, you know. Can the virus be detected, or the cancer itself? So that once I am screened and they find who you have the cancer cells and the HPV has gotten in and is about to mature to become a cancer, you know, what do I do in the 15 years?
Yes.
After the diagnosis? How is this diagnosis done? What do I do in that period to ensure that this HPV doesn't become a cancer?
Now, the reason I'm here today
Yes.
is screening, 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 screening. Okay? So what happens is, for those years, say even 15,
Yes.
this lady was okay. She was finishing her studies. She was getting married. She was going for the master's degree. She was getting her 2 children. The cancer is still in the body, trying to change
Locate
the cells.
itself.
Okay. So it is a very sad missed opportunity if this lady eventually develops cancer. Because we are going to look and say, 10 years ago, we might have seen this problem coming. When you were in the school or getting married, we could have offered a very cheap, cost-effective, even free treatment.
And save the life.
And save the life. Now, 10 years later, 15 years later, now we are treating cancer. So now we are cancer sufferer. We have not prevented, we have not fought, we are now losing the battle. When this lady comes in 15 years, most ladies say, it is so uncomfortable, I'll feel so much pain, it's so invasive, but is it better to suffer the pain of
a short
5 minutes and know whether you're cancer free, or you can receive a treatment, cheap treatment, or wait for those 10 years, do your masters, get that PhD, be in that working in your dream job, then you die from cancer?
I
Which one is better?
I get it, Dr. Wanjoy. The other thing I'm thinking about is, imagine the person who is morally upright, you know, morally upright, is not engaging. Okay, their husband could be immoral, or their partner, and they eventually catch the disease. What else would cause this cancer in somebody else apart from just through intercourse?
So that is the number one mode of spread.
Okay.
Although that being said, in medicine, we never say never.
Okay.
Unlike maybe another virus, maybe like HIV, it cannot be spread from mother to child. It cannot. It cannot be spread through blood. Like, for example, those people who inject, then they reuse the needle. Like for the people who use
cervical
drugs,
cancer is not spread like that.
it cannot be spread.
Okay.
It is only located, the men carry it in their semen and on the skin around the penis. For the ladies, they are going to carry it on the cervix.
Okay.
And on the skin surrounding their private parts. So if somebody can prevent it, the better.
Okay.
We always aim for prevention is better than cure. Screening, perhaps there are 3 ways of screening. So the common ones. There is the one which is offered maybe in the dispensary. It's called via villi. That one, within those 2 minutes, someone will be told, uko sawa, enda nyumbani. Another person will be told, uko na shida, let us treat you for 10 minutes, you go home. So there is a queue for being treated and one for screening and going home.
Okay.
Very easy. Now, the other one is called pap smear. Now, pap smear, you have to take the sample and then take it to the lab.
Okay.
So this one is more comprehensive than a via villi. So via villi we recommend for a lady to do every year.
Okay.
But for pap smear, every 3 years.
And the sample is not blood?
The sample is not blood.
Yes.
The sample
It's
is
just
from
discharge.
the cervix, just the discharge. So ladies will think, tunaenda kukata, we are not going to cut. We are just going to,
discharge.
just the discharge will pick only.
Okay.
They will not bleed, we will not interfere with the uterus. Even in pregnancy, we can do a pap smear.
Okay.
Now, if a more comprehensive one is called HPV virus testing.
Oh,
So
not
now we
vaccine.
look for
Okay.
HPV DNA.
Uh-huh.
So not only are we looking for the cell changing to become cancerous, now we are looking specifically for HPV, which is the virus which is causing cancer. So it's even more comprehensive. So that one, somebody checks after 5 years.
Okay.
So there's one for 1 year, there's one for 3
3
years,
years.
there's one for 5 years.
Wow.
So you see, ladies are full of options.
Yes.
Let
many
no
choices.
lady say, I didn't get screened. I didn't get screened.
I didn't know.
I didn't know. Let us go and be ambassadors. We go and say, on Chungu cha jamii, I learned that you people must be screened. Let us go to the hospital, all of us, and be screened.
And I must not have a gyna
I must not have a gyna.
to do that.
We go as friends to shikane mikono. Some a lady recently told me, one of my patients, that she went for screening, her sisters, and her mother.
Wow.
They went, all of them, the same day.
Yes,
for
you
screening.
encourage each other.
And you encourage each other that way.
Dr. Wanjoy,
Yes.
someone has been screened and
Yes.
they are found to actually have the virus. You know, of course, there's level 1, 2, 3, 4. at level 1, what can be done if you find out early enough? Because you're pushing us now to go and screen. So
Yes.
if people go and screen and they find that level 1, any hope?
Yes, there is a lot of hope.
Okay. Up to which level?
Up to level 2A, we can be able to do surgery and remove the cancer.
Wow. Level 3?
Level 3 and level 4, we are doing palliative. Palliative means we will never get cure
For this
condition.
Oh
we
my
will
goodness.
never. We will only help the person to have a long and meaningful life. But we will never get rid and say cancer free.
Can I go for screening on day 1 and discover that I'm already at level 3?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So I feel nothing. I pass level 1, 2, feeling nothing.
Yes.
Until I get to level 3.
15 years have passed. The cancer has grown level 1.
You know, that is now
level
very
2,
discouraging.
Level 3. Yes. So we want as soon as somebody, the risk factor is engaging in sex. So someone knows themselves. If I engaged in sex 5 years ago, then I could be at risk from 5 years ago up to today. So the more the reason I should go for screening.
So
maybe
the clients who should go for screening are people who are sexually active.
Yes.
Whether their spouses are cheating or not, as long as they have engaged, that is the reason to go. That alone should get them off their comfort zones.
Yes.
I get it. So at level 3 and 4, you say you now give palliative care. What is that?
Care.
What is that?
Now, palliative care is the care given to a patient who is suffering from a condition which they will not recover from and most probably will lead to their demise. So with cancer, we always give a prognosis. Prognosis means how will you be after 5 years? So we can give after 5 years, after 10 years. So
that's how the doctor is able to tell you 6 months.
6 months you're gone.
Okay.
Yes. So sometimes even as doctors, we try to play God, which is a bit unfair on our part, but we have to give that information. We will tell them based on the research which has been done.
So when you have found a patient, when you have found a patient at stage 4, what do they have to do? Just go home and wait for their death?
No. So with the cancer, what happens is if it is stage 4, by the way the prognosis is low. It's around 24%. After 5 years, 1 out of 5 women will be there. Not that they'll be healthy, they'll be there to see their 5th year. So we don't want people to reach there. Now, what offer can we give them? We give palliative chemotherapy and radiotherapy. So this cancer, somebody goes to a center which offers radiotherapy. For example, we have Kenyatta. So they are going to lie in that machine. They are going to receive those X-rays, which by the way also can cause cancer. So it is something, it's like a sword which is cutting in 2 ways, a 2-edged sword. It will both treat the cancer, but it will also cause its own side effects, including causing cancer. You
know what is so difficult, Dr. Wanjoy, is the fact that once you discover you are at stage 3 or 4, then you're now put under palliative care. You know, and that is really, really disheartening. But I'm thinking of who then are the fighters or the cancer warriors? Who do you call? You know, because cancer sufferers for me will be people who have given up and said, I have cancer, to hell, let me wait for my death. But these people who are going for chemo and radiology and all these things, now beginning to take supplements and now eating right and now doing exercise and doing everything else, hanging on hope. Who are they? Aren't they the warriors and the fighters?
No.
They are not.
Those ones are the sufferers.
Oh my God. So who are the warriors?
The one who is stage 4 is unfortunately maybe not going to recover from the disease.
Okay.
So it means now we've given the cancer a chance to win. But now the cancer warrior for cervical cancer, it could be another cancer. But today let us stick on cervical cancer. Who is the warrior? The warrior is that person who is going to go to their ushago. They go and fill the car with all their nieces, aunties, grandmothers,
Yes.
mothers, and take them to the hospital.
For screening.
Now that is the warrior. Let us prevent this thing. It's preventable, by the way. It is, and people,
that is the warrior.
that is the one who is fighting.
Not the one who even knows their status.
No. If it is diagnosed when it is small, believe it or not, the treatment can be 10 minutes.
But you know, the misfortune is you could actually go for screening day 1 and you find you're already at level 3.
Yes.
How come it doesn't progress? 1, 2, and how come you feel nothing? People are already so scared of cancer.
Yes.
That no one just wants to sit on it and wait for the attack. I mean, if you just knew the smallest symptom, you would run. You
Now,
would sell all your cattle.
we said that from the last show that somebody should have a high index of suspicion. What does
That's
that
not African.
mean?
That's not African. In
Yes.
the West,
Yes.
wherever, people have insurance and because they are paying premium maybe yearly or monthly, they had better use it, so they will go for doctor's checkup. But in the African setup, or specifically Kenyan, for a few people, there are few that are so knowledgeable, they have to do that maybe weekly or monthly. But there is a majority, the Wanjiko class, who cannot just go to hospitals to spend money for tests and they're feeling very much okay. No fever, no cough, no feeling unwell in any way. People don't just take themselves to hospital, Dr. Wanjoy.
Yes.
So where are we going to adapt that culture from? The
Now,
high index.
Okay. For somebody who cannot maybe or who would like to go to the public facility,
Yes.
it's free, okay? For some, and there is universal health care. So it means, which has been launched recently, and hopefully it is going to go the whole country. So somebody just walk in and receive treatment for free. Now, if somebody has the blessing of having an insurance cover, then, such as even NHIF, then they can go to a private hospital for this screening. Okay. Now, about changing the narrative, that is now where our fourth estate is here. So before, the narrative has been cancer sufferers. We show the TV, we show this person cannot even get out of bed, and everybody thinks if they hear that word cancer, it's a death sentence.
Yes.
If you hear cancer, you will die.
Yes.
But in the West, the narrative is, if you hear cancer, you will survive, you will make it.
Oh,
So,
really?
Yes, that is the narrative. So our fourth estate. So it's a challenge on all of us, but especially the members of our media fraternity, to be champions on cancer prevention.
So we need to be the warriors.
Yes.
So we should go telling people, hey, out of your houses, let's go
Can
screening.
you come? Let's go screening.
That's how I become a warrior.
Now you become a warrior.
Not because I have defeated cancer in my body.
No. If somebody has defeated, that is a benefit. That's an added plus.
Which is only possible when you discover at stage 1 or 2.
Thank you. If it is discovered early, but we say prevention is better than cure.
Is there a guarantee, by the way, that at
Yes.
stage 2, you will completely be free?
Yes, but in medicine, unlike physics or engineering, in medicine we never say never. Okay,
Wow.
maybe in physics we say if we throw something up, it always must drop.
Yes.
But in medicine, you might throw something up
And
and
it
it
stays.
continues going up. So, or it stays up. So if we do not want someone to come at stage 1 or 2. By the way, some patients can present with some symptoms, such as a foul smelling discharge, or some pain, or some irregular bleeding, especially maybe after engaging with their partner. They might find their spotting. Now, unfortunately, someone in their reproductive period can get infections which can make the discharge to change. They can get irregular periods because of hormonal imbalance, especially those ones maybe on family planning. They are going to get that irregular bleeding. Then a little pain can come because of a urinary tract infection.
We are out of time, Dr. Wanjoy.
Yes.
There's something I really want you to mention.
Yes.
You've just touched on it, and that is the family planning.
Yes.
I don't know if this could be attached to any cause or a risk factor when it comes to cervical cancer, because there are people who talk about the oral pills, there are people who talk about the injection and many, many other ways, and people opt to stay free completely from them. Please speak about that when you give us your last words.
Okay, so family planning is very important. Okay, it's very good for people to be able to know when they want to get pregnant and to be able to time it when they are responsible to take care of a baby. Okay.
Yes.
We say no to things like abortion because that one means they did not receive the care before they got pregnant.
Okay.
Now, that being said, oral contraceptive pills have been found to be associated with cancer of the cervix.
Jesus.
But the way I look at it, what does family planning do? Or people who are taking family planning regularly, they're engaging in more sex than maybe someone who is not taking family planning.
Of course.
Because maybe their spouse is working in another country. They are working in the US for 3 years. They're not on family planning because they're not engaging.
Yes.
So it's an association. It is not a cause. If you take family planning, yes or no, no difference. The key is human papilloma virus. So to our viewers, we just want them to know, as our last talk, my parting shot will be the same. Prevention is better than cure. Let us have a high index of suspicion when it comes to our bodies. Let us go early for screening. For the HPV vaccine, though it's controversial, it's been in the country from many years ago, not only now when the government is talking about it, it's been in the country for many years, and it's not having any harmful effects.
Okay.
Let us immunize our loved ones so that we don't become terrorists, we don't become suicide bombers.
I know. Okay.
Yes.
Sawa sawa daktari.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming.
We
That was
really
awesome.
appreciate
it. Was a great talk.
Thank you.
Thank you, viewer, for watching Chungu cha Jamii. I have been here with Dr. Wanjohi, who has given us a lot of important information. I hope you have taken a lot of this home and even noted down notes. Important thing is said, go, go, go screening. See you next time. My name is Betty Akuku. I have been your host.